do I even ask what it is that you're doing?
Well, now that the season's over, Johnny, I'm just trying my best to get in on the ground floor early and try to manifest the Preds winning the first overall pick in the draft lottery.
You do realize that's still 3 weeks away? Could you go vamoose so I can shoot the final fan reaction video of the season, please? You ever just want to get down on one knee and thank the hockey gods upstairs that Phil Forsberg is a Nashville Predator?
Hey everybody, it's Jersey Guy.
Hold my beer.
Are you sure you want me here?
Hat-trick watch anybody?
Is it really somewhere that we owe a massive debt to the hockey gods?
Again and again and again.
You're like a kid again, Johnny.
Is this happening? Is this happening? This isn't an ad for some dang cookie. I want a piece of that action.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice.
What do you have to tell me that is going to make me feel positive? And
Maybe the Titans won't let us down on Thursday.
Prince, walk it off!
Okay, on with Johnny's reaction video.
Redemption take you home.
Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators give up the first goal of the game 16 seconds in, but then score 5 unanswered to defeat the Dallas Stars by a final score of 5-1 Wednesday night on the back of Ryan O'Reilly, who notched 3 points, and 29 solid saves by UC Saros in the Preds regular season finale, since they will not be going to the playoffs. This may be game 82 for the Preds and the Stars, but the Stars have already clinched the playoffs, but for some reason, Peter DeBoer is basically dressing a full lineup of all of his starters, something he may come to regret at the conclusion of this game, much less the long-term effects when they start their first round series on the weekend against Colorado. And 16 seconds into this game, he looks like a genius because Matt Duchene sets up Mason Marchment for the opening tally, and the Stars are acting like they just won the cup with the excitement that they're showing. Oh, look, Matt Duchene got another point against a team that bought him out. And then a minute and a half later, it looked like it might get worse as Zachary Heroux gets called for a high-sticking double minor. It would get reviewed by officials, but upheld, and it could have gotten worse. But fortunately, props to the Preds. They kill it off, and maybe that's when the momentum would swing the other way in the Preds' favor. Shy of 10 minutes in, first Jacob Verana would get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and fortunately he didn't get anything more, even though he chirped at the refs, giving him an earful disagreeing with the unsportsmanlike. Rupe Hintz would then take a penalty. We'd play 4-4, but ultimately nothing would happen from it. But before you know it, 7 minutes left to go in the first period. Face off to Jake Ottinger's right, and the puck comes back to Jordan Osterley, who just lets a shot go through a screen, and somehow it has eyes to go into the net behind Jake Ottinger, and just like that, with a snap of your fingers, the Preds have tied this game at 1. 49 seconds later, Jordan Osterley, yes, did I just say that? Jordan Osterley driving the offense into the Stars zone again. He lets a shot go on the way to the net. It's tipped by Jacob Verana. Really? All these young, bottom 6 guys are getting the points early, and he tips it in past Jake Ottinger. Preds go from down 1-0 16 seconds in to now up 2-1 on the start. And things are getting better because 3 minutes left to go in the first period. This game is a lot closer than what we thought it might be early on. Shot totals a lot closer, and time winding down. The Preds are not resting on their laurels. From just inside the blue line, the factor, Ryan O'Reilly gets it over to Luke Evangelista. It's like, hey, let me set up my buddy right in front because I can't get this shot off that will go into the net. And who, pray tell, is this buddy he is referring to? Justin Barron. Justin Barron is right in front. He's eager to get in on the fun, and he gets Luke Evangelista's pass so perfectly and tips it back. Jake Ottinger. Am I dreaming here? The Preds in game 82 against a full-dressed Stars lineup are up on the Stars and Jake Ottinger 3-1 through 20 minutes. Stars have a defensive breakdown almost 2 minutes into the second period, and it's Cole Smith of all people who almost gets in on the fun on a partial breakaway, but Jake Ottinger turns it aside, keeping his Stars in this game for now. As we all know, the Preds have had a disastrous second period sprinkled throughout this season, but some way, somehow, the Preds finding within themselves that in game 82, nope, they're going to treat it like it's a completely different game than the first 81 that preceded it. Then after the Preds kill off a Jacob Vrana tripping call, that seems to give this team even more momentum. Under 6.5 minutes into the second period, after receiving a pass from Phil Forsberg, Steven Stamkos is coming in closer to the net, and he can sense that the back door is open, so he passes the puck to Jonathan Marchessault, who says, "Thanks, Steve. Don't mind if I do," and deposits his 21st into the back of Jake Ottinger's net. Just like that, it's 4-1 Predators. For those of you who follow me on X, and for those of you who don't but who have X, you should follow me, because it's at this point that I tweet out, do we all remember the game that preceded the 18-game point streak that got this team back into the playoffs, and how, some of us have still wanted revenge for that beatdown for some team that ran up the score? Do we all remember this? Well, I do, and I asked on X, and I tweeted some Preds buddies when it was 4-1, is it too early to expect, and for wanting the Bridgestone faithful, because if I was there, I'd start the chant, "We want 9. We want 9." We all remember when Dallas beat us 9-2 last year inside Bridgestone Arena and didn't have any sensitivity over running up the score in that game. I wouldn't have minded hearing that chant go, and it wouldn't have been a jinx. This team is long out of the playoffs, and it's game 82. Let's have some fun in game 82. Setting Dallas worried going into the playoffs and sending these Preds fans home happy. After all, it's already Frosty time, up 4-1. Well, 3 minutes later, I was thinking that the Preds had answered my call, because Stars go on the penalty kill, Preds to the power play, and Ryan O'Reilly, the Factor, gets in on the fun, and now it's 5-1 Preds, and I'm like, yes, pour it on. I want more. Where's 6? Then comes 7. But in the meantime, it was Saros' turn to show that he was not going to buckle to the pressure. He was going to make sure this Preds lead stayed intact. He stopped Matt Duchene from reducing the Preds 4-goal lead to 3. The one chant I did appreciate is after he made that save, all the juice chants were going. Good to see this fan base is still behind their number 1 goalie. Preds keep up the pressure. They don't relent in the dying minutes of the second period. They do take a penalty that will carry over to the third period. But the good thing is they're still up with that solid 4-goal lead, up 5-1 after 40 minutes. Peter DeBoer, Stars bench boss, finally does something right, because he decides to pull Jake Ottinger to start the third period and play Casey DeSmith the rest of the way, because as it also turns out, he looks like a complete idiot now playing his full-time starters for this game, because Jason Robertson would leave the game with an injury and not return. At first we thought, oh, hopefully for Stars fans it's just precautionary, but nope. Emma Lingen mentioned on Twitter that Jason Robertson was seen leaving Bridgestone Arena after this game in a brace. Stars fans are going to panic. I give credit to the Preds. In a period that they outshot the Stars 12-7, they were not going away quietly. They did want more. It's just that Casey DeSmith was strong enough not to give the Preds another inch. Luke Evangelista could not have set up Michael Bunting more perfectly, but DeSmith somehow gets a piece of the puck to keep it from getting out of hand, up 6-1 for the Preds. The most shocking thing of this game, next to how DeBoer handled how he dressed his lineup was that FanDuel, thank God for the last game of the season, I got to watch this on the Preds feed on FanDuel, and I didn't get stuck with Victory Plus, is that they mentioned that the Preds power play to end this season is the second best Preds power play in franchise history in a single season. Now, if this team was just half decent this year, just imagine how much better this power play could have been. The only Preds power play that was better than this one was back in the 2021-2022 season, when we know how well Forsberg and Matt Duchene did, each having a 40-goal season. Well, you know, at the end of the day, I guess this means that whoever was in charge of the power play gets to keep their job, because it was also reported that Andrew Brunette is going to be kept for another season. Honestly, I'm okay with that, but he is going to be on a shorter leash next year, that if they come out of the gate with the same result, Barry better have something in mind, someone in mind to replace him. 8 minutes left to go in regulation. Preds with a couple more golden opportunities, but can't extend their lead. It's under 5 minutes left to go now. It's clear Dallas just wants to get this game over with so they can get their head around having to face the red-hot Colorado Avalanche. And the Preds are more than happy to keep playing this game and torture the Stars. Eventually, the clock runs out on this game. The clock runs out on the Preds season, even though they are victorious with a 5-1 win after 82 games, finishing the season with a record of 30, 44, and 8. Well, next to winning your last game of the season, if it was a playoff game with the championship, the next best thing as a fan that you want out of your team, especially if their last game of the season is at home, is that your team goes out on a winning note and sends the fans home happy, which is what the Preds did in this game impressively against a playoff team that somehow dressed their full lineup. If I'm a Stars fan, I'm pretty pissed off at Peter Boer, and that team has now lost 7 in a row, and if they struggle and lose to Colorado, it could mean his job for how he handled this last week going into the playoffs. As for the Preds, we all know that they finished the season with the 3rd best lottery odds. Unfortunately, I don't know why it takes this long. We still have to wait 3 full weeks for the NHL draft lottery to be held. I intend to, as long as nothing comes up, intend to cover that live. And the Preds, this is a tease going into that. I'll remind you when the day comes, is that the Preds could pick from anywhere from first, if they're fortunate enough to get their ball drawn and jump up, but also know that they won't fall too far either. The most they can fall is back to 5. So they might get first pick, which is supposed to be a defenseman. Yeah, the Preds drafting another defenseman. Who knew? But we all know that when they draft a defenseman, he turns out to be pretty freaking good. Or one of the other 4 forwards who will be a star for this team. And this team is long overdue to have a game breaker. And then we'll work through the offseason, see the exit interviews, and see what major changes this team might make. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, as Preds Fan Reaction Season 6 comes to a conclusion, click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you've liked all the content you have seen from me through Season 6 of PFR. You can find my social media as always by clicking on a channel name and interacting with me during the off season with any Preds news that breaks. Tell all your friends about Predemption and do whatever you need to do, Preds Nation, that you think might bring this franchise good luck come May 7th to get that lucky lottery ball, so that come the 2025 NHL draft, the Preds will be picking first for the first time in franchise history, hopefully.